So thank you again for that introduction. When I was asked by Professor Guru, unfortunately he's not here. He told me that he has to attend to some family emergency. So I was thinking like, what should I speak here in front of the so many bright students and future leaders, as well as our esteemed faculties and our generous speakers. I thought if I speak about numbers and facts which are already there in the public domain, will it make sense? Then I thought that let me share my experiences and my learnings across last 17 years, which I have been after completing my CA and joining Goldman Sachs as an analyst. What did I learn there? And what did I see the BFSI, which is basically the banking, financial services, and the insurance sector, how this has grown or evolved across the last 17 years, which I have seen. I tell you my own personal story. So after graduating or completing my CA in 2007, 2008, I was scouting for job roles, and I got quite a few offers, fortunately. But when Goldman came to Calcutta, that time, nobody knew about Goldman Sachs. You know, that time it was like we don't know what is Goldman Sachs and all. So, but I went there and went for the interviews there. I was selected by other companies like Coca-Cola, Tata Steel, and others companies as well in the CA placement cells. But somehow, there was a kind of what you call a wishful thinking that okay, somebody like Goldman Sachs, which is a US firm. I mean, all the other companies were India-based, but this was a US-based firm. So this was a wishful thinking that okay, let me see if I am going to Bangalore and getting out of my hometown and going to Bangalore and see what happens. So I took a bet there and joined Goldman Sachs as an analyst in their investment management division. We were very naive, and we were trying to get our foot on the new world which we were seeing that time, right? It was nothing like my CA internship or my CA firms, nothing like that. So the big buildings and big offices and everything, right? So it was quite nerve-wracking, of course. This is also kind of a bit nervous for me. I'm trying to settle down right now, so please bear with me. What I saw there that we were only kind of an executors. What I mean by that it was an onshore-offshore kind of a role, right? We used to, you may have heard the word like back office, middle office, right? Front office, right? So we were genuinely a back office at that time, right? So what does it mean? We were only trying to execute or take orders or take requests from the onshores, right? In the New York, in Boston, in Japan, and we were trying to just give them the data. The information per se was flowing from them to the actual decision makers, right? And the stakeholders like the SEC or the Federal Reserve and everybody. So we were not in the decision table. We were just trying to provide the data, and that's all, right? Our qualifications, our learnings does not matter that time, right? However, what I have seen that over the years, it has completely changed, right? I'll give you an example. During the 2008-2009 financial crisis, when I have just joined Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers had gone down, okay? And we were like actually scared coming to office every day because we didn't know when will we asked to not come, okay? So that was a scenario that time. Now, at those times, Goldman Sachs became a bank holding company. What does it mean? Basically, it got funding from the Federal Reserve of New York to stay alive, actually, right, at that time. And because of that, it became a bank holding company, and it has to start reporting to the Federal Reserve of New York. Now, we came under the regulations. We had to start providing reports to them, our daily financial performance to the regulators on a daily basis, right? That was a kind of, kind of supervision which we had to deal with, right? Now, in that scenario also, we were only trying to provide the data to them, to the onshore, so-called onshore, right? They were dealing with the regulators, they were giving them the answers finally, but the data was provided from our side, right? If I look at now, for the last 4-5 years, the things have changed completely. Today, we are actually traveling to the US, traveling to the Japan or UK, and dealing with the regulators ourselves. Regulators have a habit of conducting this so-called exams or audits kind of every alternate years. So they come to the office, they ask us all the questions, they ask us for all the documents and all. Previously, we just used to send it from here to there. Now we are traveling there, and we are sitting on the same table with them and providing the answers directly to them, right? Now, why this has happened? And this is something which has not happened overnight, right? This has happened because of our continuous and relentless kind of learning, right? Our skill development, our communication skills, and our continuous making sure that we use our skills to adapt to the new life, right? Until unless you become a decision maker and you take some decisions, you cannot go to that level right now, right? I believe that your institution here provides you a great foundation to build your capabilities and build your skills, right? However, to go to the next level, what you need to do is you need to do a continuous learning in the field of personal finance, in the field of communication, in your every aspect of your skills. Right? Then only you will be ready for not only for the current job market as well as for the future job market. Right? Of course, I'm not talking only about the job market here, because many of you will become future entrepreneurs, future leaders. Right? So not only think about being in the job, but always concentrate on building your skills, at whatever level it is. Right? So this is one aspect of the BFSI evolution, which I thought I will share my thoughts on and my learnings here. Another aspect which I think which is a very interconnected theme, and which is of course the main theme of the event here, is on the fintech evolution as well as how it is connected to our financial freedom. Right? Now I will share my experiences here, as well as instead of number crunching, I will share my aspects of something called what I call as principles, which are kind of investment principles which are timeless according to me. Right? I keep on reading few books, and one of the best books in finance which I have read is Psychology of Money from Morgan Housel. Right? I would always ask people, whoever it is, even my 8-year-old daughter, that even she can understand that. It's such an easy book, and it has timeless principles of investing, and not only investing but on your life actually. Every aspect of your life can be covered by reading that book actually. Right? So I'll give you few things on that one. However, firstly, let me talk about something about fintech. Now, Vineet is here. We just got introduced. So nice to see somebody from Zerodha. Right? I think it is the best firm for the last few years right now, helping so many of us, the Generation Z and the millennials and everyone, to get onto the fintech revolution. Right? I think Zerodha not only helps scale our investment on a particular level, but also it helps us learn, because I'm sure most of us have gone and seen Zerodha, the platform, right? I think it's a tremendous platform, because it not only helps you trade or do your investments, but it also helps you learn, right? There is separate, in the platform there are separate documents which are available, or there are learning opportunities which are available, which will help you to learn and grow, which is very important actually, right? So, so I believe we should all take advantage of those platforms, not only for investing but also for learning and growing your skills, because those are the things which will help you to be relevant in the future, right? Now, coming to the principles, right? I believe there are 4 principles which I will talk about, which have helped me actually for the last 15 years or so during my investment journey, as well as manage my life as a whole, and definitely I believe that if we follow those principles consistently, we will all be in a better life, as well as we can become wealthy, we can become financially free, as well as our health will be better. That's my view. So the first principle is always think long term. Okay. Now, what does it mean to think long term? See, when we keep on doing hustling, I use that word because that is very relevant right now. We keep on hustling and doing intraday trading and, going to the app and, okay, I'll get this tip from someone and, I just invest it now and then sell it tomorrow. All this creates unnecessary stress on your mind, okay? And this is not good for your health, not only good for your health, but also it is bad for your family life, right? Because from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., you are actually on your phone and you are not doing your job, which is actual work, right? Neither you are spending quality time with your family, okay? You are continuously looking at your phone, right? And trying to figure out, can I earn this 2% today, right? This is not the way we should look at it, okay? My view is that we should always think long term. Whenever we are going to invest, always think that we are investing for a longer term, right? This will remove all the unnecessary stress, all the time unnecessarily spent on those apps and thinking about that elusive return, okay? If you see, what is happening in the current market, right? It is all volatile, right? Now, most of you, including me, right, must be looking at the markets, looking at all those apps every day and trying to figure out, like, okay, what is happening? When should I get in? When should I get out? All those things are coming to my mind, right? Trust me, in the last 15 years, what I have learned, I have not looked at those apps or my investment. For the last 3 months, I have not looked at my investments, okay? I have not gone into that app also, okay? Why? Because I know that whatever happens right now, it will all turn out better in the next few months or next few years, right? Because I am not here for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I am here for a very long term, right? So this removes all my stress, because I've already seen financial crisis of 2008. I've already seen COVID 2020, right? And I've seen market has jumped out from that one after, and it has actually rebounded 100 times after that, right? So I have that conviction. I want to share that conviction with you that trust me, trust the market, right? There is no chance that all the companies will become zero at one point of time. It can't happen, right? Just take an example of a tennis ball, right? The harder you drop it, the harder it will come out, right? So trust me, the market works like that, right? So if you are long-term settled on this one, trust me, you will be set. You don't have to worry about, the markets at all, right? So this is my view on the long-term investing. Second point related to this is concentrate on creating wealth, right? Rather than looking rich or showing off your richness, right? So what I mean by that, let me take give an example, right? Suppose you want to most of our youngsters, right? We want to get on to that new iPhone which is launched in the market, right? Currently, I think this iPhone is coming at around 1,50,000, I guess, right? So you will, I mean, some of us might get it in a cash, right? We'll pay cash and get it, right? But most of us, in fact, by some estimates, it's like 70 or 80% of the people are getting it on EMIs, right? So what is the use of it, right? The same phone, I carry a 30,000 phone, right? So that also does the same thing, nothing is unusual about it, right? But I can use that 1,50,000 to invest in a 12% return index fund or a mutual fund, right? Put it there for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. The amount of money you will get, you can use it to pay off your any loan, any student loan. You can use it to buy a plot of land. In fact, you can use it to buy a small flat also. Trust me, right? If you use the compounding thing. So just postponing your spending of this 1,50,000, and investing it, it can you can create a generation wealth from it, right? So instead of showing the richness today, which is a momentary thing, right? Try to think about creating wealth for the future, for yourself, right? And that will give you the actual financial freedom in the future, right? So this is my second principle of how we should think about, investing. Third principle which I think about is getting an advisor, right? I mean, it's all good, learning things and trying to understand what is this option, what are the futures options, and all those derivatives, all those exotic products, which we have. But trust me, this is not your main work. your main job is not this one. If you are a trader, if you are a SEBI registered trader, or if you are a broker, if you are into that job, right, that is your job. It's fine. Then you should do that. But if it is that is not your job, which is 99%, which will not be your job, right? Then don't go do that, right? Rather than that, hire an advisor, and then give that job to him or her, okay? Because in that way, you can prevent yourself from unnecessary spending time on analyzing things which you don't understand much, right? Because nobody understands. Trust me, nobody understands, okay? It's more important to concentrate on a job, do hard work there, earn more money there, right? And then invest that through your advisor, right? It will pay you better, right? We always think that, okay, that advisor will take 0.5%, 1%, expense. That will be an expense for me. They will give you much, much higher returns than what you do yourself, okay? So by paying 0.5 or 1%, you will be getting much, much higher return from hiring an advisor, okay? Lastly, I would say that read, okay? Read more. I'm sure that all of you, have your academic books to read, definitely, right? But I would also say that develop your reading habits. Similar to investing early, you should also develop a habit of reading, right? Read anything, it's not like, any fiction, any non-fiction, any biographies, not only about finance. Read anything. If you can pick up any book. If you don't like first 2 pages or that one, just throw it away. It's not that, you have seen that, okay, this book has a 5 rating, for so many people have given 5 rating, but that book may not be for you, okay? So just have a very good filter and just remove it. If you don't like it, just throw it away, right? Pick up another book. But trust me, reading books outside of your normal academics will help you get a better perspective of life. You can better perspective of your families, your general, basically, general life perspective. This will help you not only helping you in your financials, but also in your general life, right? So reading book is a very important thing as per me. I just started reading like few years back. I'm already seeing the advantages of it. The way it is creating my mindset, the way I'm speaking here because of, I think some of it has come up from the readings, which I'm trying to share here, right? So one good thing one good invention which I think which has helped reading me, like this, you must have heard Amazon's Audible, right? I think Audible is a tremendous invention, as per me. For working professionals like us, driving or walking or doing some exercise, I can always hear or listen to that book, right? Which I'm not able to read, right? So you can do multitasking and still read or listen, to the books, right? So I would suggest that, you should also spend time on reading, and you will see the advantages of it on that one, right? So in closing, I would say that you are building your foundation here, and it's a very good institute where you are trying to make sure that you are getting those skills from, and these lecture sessions and the industry leaders who are coming here. Learn from them, but definitely don't stop learning. Always keep on learning, because learning never stops on any of us, right? And that is only will help you be relevant for the future, right? And will help you navigate all the aspects of life, not only investing, which is the event point here. So mostly that's all from my side. Yeah.